It's the Daily Dog.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. I am really happy that you're hanging out with me today because y'all, I think we have an interesting one for you today. I am really looking forward to listening to this one. We're going back to Yes. The band Yes is a band that over the last year I have really come to love. I am fascinated by the uniqueness of their sound as well as the sheer musicality that every single person in the band exudes. I have really loved listening to Yes's music over this past year, but the one today is not a Yes original. It is a cover that Yes did, and it's a heck of a song, y'all. This is a vaunted, celebrated song in the history of American popular culture. It is America by Simon and Garfunkel, and I am curious to see what Yes does with it. So here's a little bit of backstory for you all before we listen to it. America was written by Paul Simon. It was recorded by Simon and Garfunkel. They originally released it on their 1968 album called Bookends. And I know the song well. I've heard it many, many times by many different artists. It is a song about young lovers hitchhiking across the United States. They are looking for America in both a literal and a metaphorical sense. And apparently, Yes had recorded this track and in 1972, and it appeared originally on a compilation album called The New Age of Atlantic, which was a compendium album released by the recording label Atlantic Records. And then they included it originally on a Yes specific album on Yesterdays, their first compilation album that was released in 1975. However, this recording has been included as a bonus track on re-releases of their classic album Fragile. And it's been a month or two ago, but I listened to the entire Fragile album over on our Patreon in the extended play lounge, and I very much enjoyed it, but we did not include this one in that extended play listen because it was not part of the original release of that album. So we're doing it now, and so we're going to kind of close that loop. But this is an instance where I know the song very well, but I don't know this cover, and quite frankly, the original track is 3.5 minutes. The Yes version, as I'm looking at it, is 10.5 minutes. And that doesn't jive with me. Like, how do you take a 3.5 minute singer-songwriter piece and turn it into a 10.5 minute piece that sounds like Yes? So we're going to go on a journey, my friends. The musicians playing for us today: John Anderson on vocals, Steve Howe on guitar, Chris Squire on bass and vocals, Rick Wakeman on the keyboards, and Bill Bruford on the drums. So let's waste no more time, y'all. Let's get into it. This is America as covered by Yes. You ready? Here we go. Doesn't sound like America. It doesn't even start in the same key. Yeah, they're kind of in G. And as I recall, the original version is in D. So right off the bat, they're like, yes, this is called America by Simon and Garfunkel, but we're going to do something completely different with it. I had no idea where they're going with this. Kind of moved to C. It's hanging out there for a while here. And now they're on the move again. trying to even pick out if they're doing some like quotes, mini quotations from the original piece. Doesn't sound like they're using any original motives in this instrumental. Except for that, Chris Squire on the bass doing a little bit of Bernstein, America from West Side Story. That was cool. I guess this is how you make this into a 10.5-minute song. Just write a whole new song. Play step again. And now they're in D.
Let us be lovers, we'll marry our fortunes together. I've got some real estate here in my bag. So we put a pack of cigarettes on Mrs. Wagner's pies. Walked on to look for America.
They should have called this Variations on America instead of America, because holy crap, they're really taking some liberty with the way that that original piece sort of fits and resides.
Bought it a Greyhound in Pittsburgh. Chicken seems like a dream to me now. Took me 4 days to hitchhike was Saginaw. All gone to look for America.
Fascinating.
All gone to look for America.
Trying to reserve judgment until the end. So far, I'm not sure.
Laughing on the bus, playing games with the faces. She said the man in the gabardine suit was a spy. I said, be careful, his bow tie is really a camera.
We interrupt this classic song for something completely different. They skip a verse? Funky. I don't know if I like it. They skipped the toss me a cigarette. I think there's one on my raincoat verse. Didn't they? We got to E, they went up a step. No, went to B. Well, this is just blowing my mind, y'all. It's like, I don't even know what it's like. But it's not Simon and Garfunkel. This is really interesting. It's like they took that existing song that was only like 4 years old at the time, y'all, and just put it in the middle of a Yes original and called it America. It's cool if you don't think of it in the context of Simon and Garfunkel, but if we're thinking of it that way, I don't think I'm a fan, y'all. I didn't expect to say that today, but let's listen and see what they do at the end. I mean, meanwhile, sounds like yes, and it's really cool. Almost bluesy now, like a blues solo. He went to A. Yeah, there's the 5, and there's the 4, and there's the 1. It turned into a blues riff. Yes, play the blues. I guess that fits a little bit into my interpretation of the ending of this piece. I'll get to that in a little bit once we're done. Yeah, if you drop the needle in this section and ask me what song it was, couldn't tell you, right? Drums sound cool though. Hearing that ride cymbal. Yeah, they went back to the last verse. They never went to that other verse. Huh. I'm empty and aching and I don't know why. It doesn't land with the same resonance to me as the original. Huh. Well, what a fascinating piece of music this is. Who knew that Yes was the inventors of disco? Is that how it's going to end? Is that really how it's going to end? Huh. What an odyssey that was, y'all. I think I have thoughts. Let's see if I can say them in somewhat of a cohesive way. This is an important song to me. I really, really enjoy singer-songwriter style music. Even though I am a classical composer, I love that style of music as a vehicle for communicating. I always have. And so this song to me has always been sort of this celebration of what America aspires to be, and at the same time, an indictment of what America always has been, in a way. At the beginning, I'm just going to go back to the original lyrics here. At the beginning, it's optimistic. It's patriotic. We're going on a journey to discover the beauty, the scope, the breadth, the wonder of America in the American landscape and in the American people. And by the culminating verse, y'all, where it says, Kathy, I'm lost, I said, though I know she was sleeping. I'm empty and aching, and I don't know why. They're lovers that have gone off to, enjoy America. And by the time they get to New Jersey, where I live, they're like, why is this so painful? They've started to see some of the real America, right? Remember, it's the time period here. Music is never created in a vacuum, my friends. It's the one thing I've learned from looking at music and musicology for a long time. It's 1968 when this is recorded, and I know that Paul Simon based it on an experience that he had a few years earlier. But in 1968, America has shown its failure to live up to its promise, especially in the midst of the Vietnam War and the social strife of that era. And in the original, the tonality of the music, it doesn't change keys. The vocal tone doesn't change. And that's why I think that last refrain is so interesting, so poignant. We're looking for America, and we're still hopeful that America can be the America that we know it still can be. And we're just longing for the idea of America to become more realized in actual society, right? It's a brilliant piece in that it's both an exaltation of the American experiment and kind of an elegy for how our experiment of American democracy has actually been carried out. And I'm reminded a little bit, as I'm talking about this, by This Is America by Donald Glover. I think he released it under the stage name Childish Gambino, as a more modern take on the same dichotomy. But the way that Yes has treated this last verse specifically, Kathy, I'm lost, I said, though I know she was sleeping. I'm empty and aching, and I don't know why. They set that with like this happy, funky, sort of groovy sound. And that just disconnected me from the way that I've always noticed and understood and processed this song. And so that's why I think I was just disconnected a bit from what the guys in the band were doing. And it reminds me, y'all, that if there's any lesson in this, it is not easy to take a classic singer-songwriter style piece with the way that the phrases are built, the way that the harmonies are built, to be the vehicle for what the songwriter is going to say. And then turning that into a progressive piece of music that has solos and some more complicated harmonies. It's really not easy to effectively translate a style of music from one style like that and shove it into another. It's almost like taking Mozart and trying to write jazz to it. And people will be like, yeah, that sounds a little bit like Mozart, but it doesn't remind me of Mozart. And it's something like that. When these musical pieces are so well crafted in the musical lane where they are meant to reside, taking it out of that lane and putting it into another stream of musical sort of development is a tricky bit of of art to pull off accurately and effectively. And sadly, my friends, I wasn't as into that one as I hoped I would be. I still love the band, but I understand now why it didn't make one of their main albums. I think they recorded it like right in between Fragile and Close to the Edge, and it didn't make it on either one of those albums initially. And in fact, they didn't release it on their own album till 3 years after they initially had recorded it. And now it's on the re-releases, but it's fascinating. I'm glad that we listened to it. It's really interesting. I don't know if I want to listen to it again, though. I think I'd rather listen to Paul Simon sing it, quite frankly, even though I love John Anderson. This has been a fun little journey on a Tuesday. I'm glad that you have been with us. Let me know your thoughts, y'all. Did you react the same way? You might love this and like it better than the original. That is perfectly fine. It is art, my friends. It reaches all of us in different ways. But I call them the way that I see them. That's what I do here on the Daily Doug, and I'm thankful to Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel and everybody with the original tune, and for the guys from Yes for putting their spin on it, because it's been quite fun to see what musicians like the guys in Yes do with what Paul and Art did. Really interesting stuff. So thanks y'all for being with me today. Appreciate it. We will see you next time on another edition of the Daily Doug.